For the latest in strategic affairs, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the bell icon for updates.
Hello and welcome to StratNewsGlobal. I'm Surya Gangadharan. Today we are looking at the incident involving India's Marine Commandos and perhaps the first operation of its kind that they've been involved in. They boarded a hijacked a merchant vessel about 400 odd kilometers from Somalia, and it had been taken over by hijackers. The crew was in a strong room in the ship, so they were largely safe, but the ship was being hijacked, so the commandos intervened and sanitized the entire vessel and ensured the ship was freed of hijackers. I have with me Capt DK Sharma, my colleague. Captain DK, how do you see this? Is this the first operation of its kind involving the Marcos?
Yes, in a way we can say it is the first operation after this Hamas-Israel war, which has also caused little disruption to the traffic, to the merchant traffic which is coming out from the Suez into the Red Sea and then Gulf of Aden and coming into the IOR headed for maybe India or Southeast Asian nations. But this incident happening when a parallel operation which is going on by so many navies, and as you are aware, one operation called as Operation Prosperity Guardian, which is happening under the flag of US Navy. So with all this happening, this incident happening is quite a alarming thing, because the pirates are taking advantage of the situation when they know that many navies are involved in only protecting the sea lanes of communication and the merchant traffic, which is a little disrupted as of now. But you see, what happened was, when around 10-12 days back another ship was hijacked, MV Ruin. After that there was attack on two ships. One was right into the Arabian Sea, which caused a little alarm that how come all these incidents are happening in no man's land, so far away from any type of land from where otherwise we were hearing that the Houthis are firing from the land, from Yemen side. But now their reach has become so much, and accordingly the Indian Navy had then deployed ships which were on the mouth of the Red Sea, which is the when the ships exit from the Bab el Mandab and come towards the Arabian Sea. So in spite of such a large presence of ships over there, we had this incident day before yesterday evening when the UK MTO reported that a ship, a Liberian flagged ship, MV Lila Norfolk, has been hijacked. So the good part is that the crew immediately went into the strong room or the Citadel, which you say, and probably they disabled the ship. So now what has happened is that they went into the strong room Citadel and probably sent out the distress signal. The distress signal in this case gives the position of the ship, as also informs the authorities that the crew has gone into the strong room, and hence the ship is not moving now and they need help. And as per the norms, as per the standard operating procedures, all the ships, all the naval ships who are there in the vicinity, or for that matter the merchant vessels, if they can provide any kind of help, they will come towards that ship. And in this case, the nearest was Indian Navy, Chennai, and INS Chennai, which was diverted. But before that, the Indian Navy put on their long-range maritime patrol aircraft, the Boeing, the Predators, who were keeping an eye on the ship. And once the destroyer reached there, then the scene of action and the responsibility shifted from the air effort to the surface effort, which was done by INS Chennai.
So Captain, I just want to come to this Arabian Sea thing that you had mentioned. But before that, you made the remark that the hijackers appear to be taking advantage of the situation caused by the Houthis and the Gaza war. Are you saying the hijackers are all just playing for their own stakes? They're not affiliated?
The hijackers are primarily Somalians. They are good at all these activities which are non-state actor activities, and they look for a vessel of opportunity. And once they are able to strike, they don't leave any chance. But over the last few years, all the navies had a system in place where the convoying was taking place, and other modalities were worked out, in which the convoys used to be taken from open sea towards restricted waters of Gulf of Aden, Red Sea, and then out from the Suez Canal. But now, since this October 7 incident and the war which is going on, now what is happening is the sympathizers from Yemen, the Houthi rebels, they are now disrupting the traffic. And now they're not embarking or something like that. They are just firing missiles, ballistic missiles, drones, various kind of vectors, which have now become a problem. And as you are aware, the traffic has thinned down. The big tankers and the oil tankers, cargo ships from Maersk, Hapag-Lloyd, they're not coming this place because they know the stakes are very high.
So coming to the Arabian Sea, it's a very long way from Somalia. You're telling me that these people have the resources to send their ships so far into water that are really...
These are far and few people who have their dhows. They come out in groups of 10, 12 people. They are armed very well, and they are good. They have very good experience of the sea, so they look for a vessel of opportunity. For example, if the ship is not doing, say, 24 knots, or it is doing 18 knots, 16 knots, so that's a good target for them. And as such, nowadays the weather is very good, so there is not much of pitching, rolling, and all. So they come closer, they take advantage of the darkness, and then lay a trap, a kind of a trap. Between the two boats, they put a rope, so that the bulbous bows of the ship, the big ships, the massive ships, it gets stuck in that, and both the boats then get pulled by the ship itself. And then the boats come closer, and then they have the equipment, the grapnels and all, and they're taking the cover of darkness, they embark the ship.
So you're telling me that the crew of the ship has no means of detecting these people?
You see, the crew of the ships, as per the standard operating procedures, they don't have any weapons.
Okay.
There are no weapons allowed.
They are merchant vessels.
So what they do is, if they find skiffs or smaller boats or dhows in that area, they probably alter their course, go and keeping a good distance from these boats. But in darkness, when these boats are not lit up, so when they are coming on the predetermined paths, so these are in these situations, and if the speed of the ship is little manageable for them to embark, they take a chance, and that is what probably has happened. And parallelly, as I have told you, the focus right now for the last, say, 2-3 weeks has been to protect the shipping from the attacks which are happening. So this is probably a double whammy which has happened, that some pirates have taken advantage of the situation, and this is a second attack. In the frequency has been within 10 days, 2 major ships have been attempt has been made, and they were successful in embarking. But now in this case number 2, when the ship was at high seas, the Navy reached over there, and a very swift action has been taken.
But in the case of the ruin, the hijackers are still on board?
They are still on board. The ship is not free, and probably there was the Citadel was compromised. Something like that has happened. The detailed reports are not out. They did injure one of the crew members, which was again taken out by the Navy, and he was transported and sent to the hospital by Indian Navy. But that ship is still under the control of the...
And is it in Somali waters, or...?
It is somewhere there only, next to Somalia.
So tell me, when the hijackers are able to come so deep into the Arabian Sea, and they apparently have the resources to stay there for fairly longish periods, does that place greater pressure on us? Because we are the littoral navy, isn't it?
Look, first of all these waters are global commons. You can't say that you can't come over there and I will operate only over here. That is not the case. They are global commons. Anybody can come and do fishing. They probably come over there on the garb of ship as fishermen, and then look for a vessel of opportunity, as I have told you. So this is where the whole game dwells. But Indian Navy, or for that matter, India being the first responder in this part of the ocean, we have been keeping an eye on all these things very, very closely. But as I have told you that since last 2-3 weeks, the focus was a little shifted, and hence probably this has happened. But I don't think any new attempt you will hear of in the coming days, because now they know that the deterrent patrol probably has expanded its area of operation, and the ships also will be told, or maybe will be directed to come at a particular point, and from there a kind of convoying will start.
Okay.
That 3, 4, 5 merchant vessels who are heading towards that place, or the ships which are heading towards the Persian Gulf to the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah.
So they will be probably convoyed, or they will have some kind of aerial patrol on top of them so that nobody closes them. So we will have to sanitize the area from where this convoys are going, the cargo vessels are going, the white shipping as we call it.
Yeah.
So the stocks will have to be monitored more diligently, so that these kind of things don't happen when you are approaching towards the restricted waters. And by saying restricted waters, I say when you are entering the Horn of Africa, where you have this restricted waters and the channels, then you have a particular way, lane in which you have to traverse.
So we have 5 ships deployed for this kind of duty right now.
You see, initially 2 weeks back we were told that it is 4+1 ship, but now one operation is happening in the Strait of Hormuz since 2019. That is Op Sankalp. So we are keeping an eye that side. We are now also looking after our trade, which is coming out of the Gulf of Aden, so that it doesn't get attacked by Houthi rebels. So all this is being monitored, but rest assured, with the Indian Navy, the way they are deployed now, all this is under control. One odd incident has happened, and it has been taken care of also very, very swiftly.
Just one question about this. There is that naval task force that the US has set up to monitor what the Houthis are doing, and they've even threatened action if another hijacking happens or they are fired upon. I understand many of the partner nations of this group have already moved away from that.
No, it's not like that. It was initially, it came out that Spain, France and all, they are probably looking after their own merchantmen. But now again the grouping is very much in place, and the threat of course is building up only, it is not reducing. So, and as you are rightly saying that they have threatened that should there be any attack, they will probably retaliate on ground. So let's see what effect does it have. But right now this problem persists, and there are no tankers, no Maersk tankers are coming in. They are all holding, and all the energy needs of the world, which was supposed to be traversing through these restricted waters, are probably going down below and rounding the Cape. And then going, which is costing everybody.
Do you see any role for that new task force that India has joined, the CMF?
That is another, in which we were as advisory, but now we have joined over there. So all this will keep on happening because, Surya, the situation over there is so dynamic that you don't know what kind of threat emanates from where. So whether it is the Houthi rebels, whether it is the drones, whether it is the missiles, whether it is the pirates, all this is ultimately affecting the trade. So they are the sympathizers of Palestine, are now hitting us where it hurts the most.
So finally, last question, when you step back and look at how the situation is unfolding, how do you see the Navy responding in the like manner? Do we need to scale up our resources? Obviously, it seems so.
As of now, we have been doing this from 2008 onwards, since the piracy thing started moving up. And I must inform that Indian Navy worked so hard on it. We started the mission-based deployments, and accordingly, the high-risk area, which came as close as up to the Maldives or to the Laccadive and Minicoy Islands, that was all high-risk area, which means that every ship had to pay extra insurance. That is just because of the Indian Navy's patrolling, intensive patrolling and surveillance in that part of the Arabian Sea, that the high-risk area was moved back and the insurance rates were normal. But now again, if these 2-3 incidents which have happened, I don't think they will have any impact, but should it continue, then they will have an impact, plus the threat which is already persisting in the Gulf of Aden and Red Sea. So this is becoming a little a tricky thing, but I am sure there will be some answer to it. But it will take time. And as you are saying, yes, the assets will be stressed because the patrolling has been increased. Surveillance assets will be put over there. And hence, that is why we are now looking at manned, unmanned handshake. So all that is coming into action, and probably the Indian Navy and all other navies in the area will take cognizance of it and act accordingly.
Capt DK, thank you very much. That's all we have for you on this broadcast. Good effort by the Marcos, but the situation remains dynamic and high risk, and the continued mission-based deployments will continue. We'll bring you more as we go forward. Thank you very much for watching StratNewsGlobal.